So here's our concertina sketchbook. When you open it, it's a good idea to start with it like that rather than like that. So here I am, and let's get the right way up. Once we're away, we can stick something on the cover here so you know what's the front, or you can do it before. Yeah, but it's nice to find something on our journey. So opening it this way, and I've already stuck in some photocopies from the photographs that we've got on as PDFs, or you can stick your own in there. These are photographs that I've taken in Nice of the palm trees. So we've got some here. This one I've stuck across the fold. This one is before. This is a menu. It is from many years ago because it's still in francs. And there's a bit of a street there. So I've just stuck 4 in for now to show you. Now, that would be great if you could do that. If you could do the next stage, is just scraping some gesso across to give a bit of surface. And then when we splash some ink across, that also, the gesso repels a little bit. So I'm using an old credit card here. And I'm just going to scrape little bits on here. Thinking horizontals and verticals, could be houses, could be the line of the, the horizon line. Gesso is also great for knocking back your photocopies a bit if you don't want them so strong, but you still want them kind of there in the background. It's good to put a bit on there. You can also scratch into it a little bit. So this is all the stuff that those who've done my courses before, might have done. So let me move that up there. So I'm just going to scrape a little bit across here. So it's not a huge amount, it's just to give a bit of a different surface. You could use a brush and scrub some on. I just prefer using a credit card. And I'm going to put a little bit on here just to knock that back a bit. And you may be saying, what's the point of this? You'll see when we put some ink on here, I'm making like a scrubby palm tree kind of marks, if you can see there, just so we've got a different surface. Right, so that's all I'm going to do with the gesso. Then when that's dry, I've bottled this into a different container, by the way. When that's dry, we'll splash some ink across for a sky, and that's all you need to do in preparation. Then I'll bring all the collage materials and we'll collect along the way. So I'm just going to leave that to dry for a bit now. So I'm going to splash some blue ink. I've got this, it's a turquoisey blue when you see it on the page. Those living in England, it's a sea white ink, but any blue ink is fine. I've packed away my lovely big soft brushes. I've got this one, but it's square, it's not so good. And I've got a really scrubby decorator's brush, which will give me nice marks. So if you can get a big round soft brush to splash the ink around, that would be great. And I've got a water pot, and I've got a little lid for mixing on. So I'm going to go with this scrubby one first because it's my favourite. So I'm just going to just see if I can bring this down a bit so you can see. I'm mixing a really light, not really light, but a wash of blue, and I want you to be quick and not fussy. Okay, so I like that splash there. I'm trying not to fiddle around with it. I might get a spray, a water spray, which I've forgotten to get. So I usually have a little water spray. I'm just going to use a big one here today to spray it a little bit. I'll show you in the kit what I want you to take with you. Little water spray is brilliant if we've got anything that's water soluble. Then I want you to run it across a few pages, going across here, going across where that scrubby palm tree was, into my sign. I'm not worried about that. So let the marks do what they want to do. It's running a bit. That's fine. See, already it's looking like a sky. Yep. So that's all I want you to do. I'm just going to bring this sky down a bit lower. Yeah. If you want to put some cloudy shapes in there, a piece of cotton wool. Again, I haven't got any here in my studio, so I'm just going to use a tissue. See if you could dab a bit off before it gets too dry. And we might not have any clouds, but that would give you a little bit of a cloudy sky without you having to do anything really, apart from dab it with some cotton wool or a tissue. Right, so don't worry about those bits. Maybe if it's really wet in the crease, just run it along a little bit. But then if you can let your book dry, that's fantastic. We've already got some palm trees, some blue sky. I'm just going to move that bit there. And it's very free. And we're going to work into it when we're there. I'm just going to move that ink a little bit on that one. It's very thick. And that little cloud's now got some lines in it, so I'm going to take those off. But try not to fiddle too much. Okay, so that's the preparation, and that will be fantastic.